2 is underway, and it looks like we're just touching down on the spawn island here. First team we're going to be taking a look at, Ball of the most exciting, Bizzle, Zexro, and Jayth here at Battle of the Boroughs.
This is going to be interesting to see if we can spot them out of caddy corners and all the different fights. The most important to me, Pleasant Park, caddy corner, obviously with Bizzle and crew, and then also Lazy Lake to see if Gonzo and crew can actually come out on top 2 games in a row. They've dropped out of the bus and they're going for it. It's another team that was very, very quiet. Monster was Rocks, Agers, and Janik, the stable Discord crew. Not there at all when they were playing, which is interesting to say the least, because you would definitely expect them to be fighting up towards the top.
Yeah, I was keeping my eye on them. I mean, I saw them make it towards like top 15 or so and then just fizzle out one at a time, kind of getting dropped there in that end game. Pretty unfortunate for them. But look at this, a change of drop spot now. Gonzo, Kote, and Jairus actually have full claim of the Lazy Lake just off of dropping Bugsy, Road, and Blue Tea. So the alternative drops, the alternative strats already being put into play. And it makes me wonder, though, how do you give up this entire area? Now, where do they go?
Yeah, that is a big question because it will put influence on somebody else. Gonzo able to stretch all the way to the lake house, and this is not something you normally see, even dating back to the squad days in the grand finals. People were not letting Lazy Lake go uncontested, but the risk was not worth the reward for Blue Tea, Roat, and Bugsby. They actually go to Authority. So if this team had this uncontested the last time, unfortunately they have to contend with some of the best players in the lobby, and Blue Tea does have already the glider gun. Bugsby's still down below, but they've taken height a little bit, and they've got a challenge against Blue Tea, but Bugsby's gonna be able to set up a pinch. Roat is chasing them in too. All of a sudden, things are looking dire for the team inside.
It is true, and I'm just looking at the shields available on the enemy squad. It's not looking too good for them. So right now, the advantage is in the favor of Blue Tea, Road, and Bugsy here. We're now looking to push on in and isolate the squad down. Oh, they just picked up the chug splashes in the basement. So if the indicator and the sound was enough, they should know where the squad's at, but I don't think Bugsy caught the cue there. He's just searching the bushes, yeah, looking around, honestly, anywhere now at this point. But here, he's recognizing they're right underneath him. Let's see what Bugsby and crew can do. The pinch is happening. Roat's already on the bottom layer working from one angle, and Bugsy's on the other. Trying to line up the crossfire here. It's not quite going to work out. But I love this, though. I do love this. Going down first gives you access to actually, watch back the broadcast and jump into the replay mode, right? And really get your research on. So I think they just did their homework really quickly and decided this is a better risk and gamble. Going for a stronger position. You get the mythic loot. I mean, you get so much more of an advantage, right?
Speaking of advantages, basically the rest of the lobby has not been fighting too much. You have Invidious getting another win off spawn, which is expected. Oh, all of a sudden Blue Tea gets himself really in trouble, tries to break down through the floor. They let him come in, and then they cone him, get him stuck, and they've given up the glider gun, one of the most important in this entire fight at all at the Authority. Let's swap over to Craggy Cliffs. I haven't said that name in a while because it just came out from underwater last weekend. Jericho, Spark G in mind against the Starving crew. And Spark has heights. They're trying to chase down one, and he's on the backside of the building. They almost could have gotten him, but they're going to maintain the height instead.
Working their way down nice and slow here. You see Mine is the one closest to the thick of it here. Really trying to get in. Now Darkor coming to the side. Wood builds are not going to be enough, but the counter fire there is going to put a little bit of pressure backwards from Redox from Team Oxygen. Out comes the mini toss there, trying to give his squad mate their final heal now. Darkor is going to have to pop that here. Not looking too hot for the team here. Darkor's going to get punished, and he does get taken out before he can actually heal. So the lead now swinging back to Team Oxygen. Remember, most importantly, the siphon going off for the squad down here. So Joe now has some shield to work with. Redox gets capped off, and Glizzy is looking pretty decent with his chug splashes. He can totally help this team out after they pop their minis, and that's going to look like the play here. The lead swinging back now for Glizzy, Redox, and Joe.
A little bit of breathing room in the bottom of this. Still gonna look for opportunities. Spark accidentally falls and he gets boxed like a fish. Instantly, Glizzy will take advantage of that and possibly even Kona, but no, Spark finally escapes, but not for long. He's down, stuck on the dock. And for some reason, the rest of his squad is not even close to him, even though he got that fight and had the advantage. Now it's a 2v2. They've exchanged a little bit. And this fight is also going poorly for the other side. And I think they might have just wiped them. Yes, Mind is done. All they've got to do is find Spark. So what looked like an advantage towards Spark G and crew all of a sudden is not looking great at all. They've been able to force this now into 2v1.
Gotta give credit where it's due though, to get tagged like that, go on the counter and actually land all of your shots. The attack coming out in full force and pressure there, allowing him to come out on top here. Now Spark has a fighting chance. I mean, it's still doable. Here's a Bossy who we saw at the start drop Zexro before getting traded out by Jaith on the clutch up. We're going to be able to see Immortality, Zez, Evasion, and I Get Nostalgia working just outside of their kind of angling. Free rotates though, as they're not looking to fight. They're trying to get on out, even going into the storm zone right now, possibly for the look of material. Yes, on the hunt for material. Just judging by the arrows, I feel like that squad is looking to possibly hold them out here.
I think there was a stalemate off of a drop that one of the teams wanted to push forward, but then realized another team had interest in it and they backed off. Should be okay for them. They back away towards Logjam, which is going to be a really, really newly added addition to their loot path, and get quite a decent amount of wood, possibly some metal as well on the inside with all the conveyor belts too. There's a boat though lurking in on the side of them that's going to creep on them. Actually, they're going to engage. It's Letty and crew, who we saw be fairly aggressive in the last game. I think they definitely want to get involved.
Taking their time though, trying to gather up as much material as possible. I mean, this is a great place to battle it out, especially considering how much excess material there is to come back towards. The team though that we knew was taking all the early game fights, Zero, Fox, and Valor, have someone else in their sights. It's Type Zoo and Goblin who are on the run right now. It looks like Fox is gonna find the nice angle here. Yes, Type Zoo forgetting to close his backside completely, quite literally tunnel vision on the runaway there. And now Fox is going to be able to catch his thirst and hopefully pick up the materials before cutting on out. Yes, there it is. Can't shake down in the water, buddy. He is going to have to finish him off or commit here. I think he trying to see. Yes, little trick there though. He's going to jump down and hit the shakedown in the process, and now able to do it. Learn something new every day, I guess. That was pretty cool.
So it might not be 6 eliminations in the mid game. It looks like they pushed the players off of Pleasant entirely, but they're still going to get aggressive no matter what and find themselves 2. One still escapes them, but now with a different zone, we get to see a different path. So they're going to push down towards the Whirlpool and potentially push into Sweaty Sands, although they see a team both behind them and basing up not too far away. Another team will be able to hold them out if they do fly over towards Sweaty Sands through the Whirlpool. That's this one right here, Luna and crew at the same time. Ved gets an elim and so does Gonzo. So 2 teams that we're paying attention to are starting to rise up even further on the leaderboards.
Very crucial fight right here to be committing to, blowing a lot of medium ammo for a team that's long distance and not catching any tags or knocks for it. It's not quite the best. That player is going to get pushed out there, and Valor is going to be the one that's going to close out for it because it was Krino who's on the run there. So he rotates right into a dangerous trio, and they pick up the free pick. And now they're probably going to be coming in to hunt down the rest of this squad as they're hearing the Marauder shots kind of finish off. But Salty Springs, the hot spot right now. Multiple squads rotating on through just outside the Authority here. It could be Bugsy and squad unless they lost the Authority. I completely forgot that they were popping off. Someone that's gonna fall though, Rocks. So that means Agers and the rest of his teammate are not looking that good right now. Already losing Rocks here early in the game. Big headshot.
No, actually they completely knocked. They got him. Marco down and out. So snipe from range. but there is no range in between Nvidia, Soul, and Chase against Spark and the two Tacos. They'll push them away quickly, but Monster, a dangerous threat looming. At the same time, this lobby was not able to thin itself out with all the fights that have already broken out. Still 80 people alive in second zone. It's going to start closing soon. Surge notifications will go out, and it will be deadly as we approach into the third. That's why this fight's so important for Soul, Chase, and crew.
Already a much different pace than game one. Game one, we had 72 players alive coming into the zone, and here with 10 more. Like you said, this is going to be a serious storm surge that's going to happen here. A team that's not going to have to worry about is Soul Chase and Nvidia's here, who already have a few frags. I love the 3-2-1 open fire to get through the metal, though. The bully plays, the squad plays, working like a team here. Gotta love that. A little bit of a counter fire, though, coming out from the 4 Fable Tacos. There's 2 Tacos here, like we said before. No, Soul's gonna get boxed up here and get traded out. And he gets taken down, but not before the rest of the squad comes in and Nvidia falls for trying to help out. And now it's up to Chase to clutch up by himself. Not impossible, though. The big shot there on one of the teammates. Hard shot completely punished. 2v1, though, I still don't know if that's the best play to hold it just like that. Such a scary position to be in here.
I'm surprised to still see him taking this fight. Obviously, not much to live for in this game. It's gonna be very difficult to get some placement points. He almost gets counter-edited on and almost even gets the floor against 2 people holding turbo build. He does, but they back up again. Super surprised to see this right now, because you'd expect him to just try to go for some placement, but instead he's gonna try to 1v3, and if he pulls this off, that would be not only ridiculous, but so difficult to actually figure out how that happened from the other side. There's an RPG as well that might throw things for a loop, and they will start to fight and build fight against the one player. Chase still holding on, and they don't actually fight all the way up. This could completely ruin the opportunity for Taco's crew to do anything. Finally, an RPG finds something, and it is a storm fight too. So they have to hopefully get out of this, and I think they even... Did they just leave him? Yeah, he's just in the zone. They're gonna leave. Spark is still by himself, though, and if he doesn't leave soon, his team's gonna have to turn about face and face this.
It's not looking too hot here. I mean, the worst thing you want to do is leave the 1v1 in the air for Chase. That'll give him the benefits in the situation here, but all right, they don't want a storm fight at all. I'm assuming this zone's got to be pretty far if they're already leaving. Remember, we saw it just cut off by the Salty Springs area. And remember now, Storm Zone, or the Storm Surge, will be in full effect. 4 players have to go down now. Baby Gonzo's gonna find a bossy. Jarrett's is gonna find one as well. So Baby Gonzo and crew turning up right now. 1 player left in the crew right here. He's hidden inside this floorboard. And I think, yes, there it is. They know where he is now. The hunt's here from Baby Gonzo. That's his wall. He's gonna open up and hit him with the surprise shotgun shot. And now 6 elims for Gonzo, Jerry's, and Akote turning up. And wait a second, there's another. The instant fire. No time to pause here. There's no red lights for Baby Gonzo.
That is insane that he opts to shoot that fast without any information on the team in front of him, without knowing whether they were high HP, whether they even were a full trio. He gets a couple tags for it, and that forces them to pause. Surge is still on, which could be a minor point against the other team. They will disengage, though. One team going out the left, and the other team going to take the white line straight north. I think actually going to end up in a better position overall than the team who's trying to skirt their way around the edge. By the way, that's the second place team on the other side.
I was just gonna say, I just saw Spark go down to Marauder, by the way. Remember, Spark was the last to rotate out of the zone, and look, Glizzy is gonna be able to find Taco and Spark now because of it. So the Marauders getting their taste of the action right now, and now TakenedTV's crew is gonna fully fall here by Glizzy on the backside. So I don't know what happened, but a bad run-in with the Marauders after rotating late in the storm zone is going to be the downfall for Spark. I wonder if Chase is somehow still alive after all of that. Would be interesting to see if he somehow survived it.
Now looking at the team on top by 3 points, by the way. We did get the leaderboard update. So they're leading, but only by a thin margin, though. In this case, they took out Blue Team. Roat, at least they finished that. engagement that we saw the beginnings of at the Authority, and now they have not only the shockwave launcher but the glider gun as well. So they have the height take and they have the horizontal distance take to get way ahead of zone if they want to connect those. A key recipe to take the win, and even some height too. Bizzle still lurking down back on the God ramp, and he will take a shot that ends up letting Zexro find a way into the space, and he's pouncing. He wants in. The classic Zexro from his trio fights. He will get involved as fast as possible.
That's right. That hunting rifle shot being a key opener here for Alpha, and the res still hasn't gone off. They were actually trying to get him in a better and safer position, but it looks like now the servers figured it out. There's a fight going on here. You see a couple shots coming in from other angles. So many lines of fire can see into this battle here. The crew down below is trying to save Alpha now. There, finally, he figures out. Bizzle knows where they're at, but maybe it's been a little too long. Chug Splash is coming out. That's the clear indicator that this is not the fight, or the team has now bounced back. Deciding, though, is it worth going for the drop here? The greed from Bizzle, Zexro, and Jaith is the question. We know they have those mythic items, the grappler and the shockwave. You can see a launch pad in the inventory as well, but how much do you really need, and how worth it is it going for that drop right now?
It's dependent on what other people do right now, how they rotate, if they rotate early. And nobody is moving, not even Godzo and crew. We saw them be so decisive a little earlier. Now using the stinks to try to actually spot where that team down below is. They're going to decide that they want to continue pressure based on their position. Jaith blocks off, and he's got a really, really nice angle. Zexro might have found one on his own, or Guardy trying to make sure that they don't come in through the back. They've got a three-way pitch with Zexro, Bizzle, and Jaith, and to contend with that is going to be very difficult, especially with the amount of stinks that Zexro is throwing and holding. That's the last one, though, but more loot. He picks up a rocket launcher too, power weapons, and mythic items. I don't see this being stoppable for anybody unless they make a key mistake. Look, Monster, you mentioned it. And the key wasn't to be greedy at all. The key was just to force everybody and bully them away, force them to rotate, and now they've got 2 launch pads, possibly 3 in the inventory.
Definitely gonna have more than one. That's a fact there. A team that's in another fight here already, of course. It's Valor, Fox, and Zero. 4 elims for the squad here. Looking really good, though. Tucking those nades into the pocket here now to be able to blow open the enemy team. Swap over to metal, though. Crucial builds already being kind of blown here, to say the least. Another squad's going to get into it, though, and the lines of fire coming in from all angles now as the pressure and the server turns their focus into the battle here on the western portion of the zone now. So many players to counter snipe, though, onto Foxen. He's forced into defensive hold now. Probably going to have to splash for the squad here. Yes, there he goes. Trying his best now.
These guys were at 87 points last game, 3 points shy of Zexro, Bizzle, and Jaith, and they already have more elims than them, which means that they will be in the lead currently. This is our first place team right here, right now. It just depends on what they can do in the end game. Speaking of end game, Jaith is down again, potentially could get knocked if Bizzle and Zexro will try to save, but no, Jaith down again, and he had the shockwave launcher. If this was from range, they still have room to recover. But if not, if Jaith got a little ahead of himself, that team might be in trouble without that item.
It is true. Not looking too good if you lose the mythic shockwave. We know that is the key to success and victories for sure. Current state of Fortnite here. The zone's gonna pull south, though. Fox and Valor and Zero are going to have to army their way, march their way through all these squad mates here. And the battle, Zexro is the only alive now as Bizzle gets absolutely pumped by Murkowski there with the charge shot. And now Bizzle's also out of the game. Zexro, though, does have the mythic Kid's shotgun and grappler to back him up, so he can still secure placements here, but that first place lead is absolutely slipping away now as they only have 1 elim, like you mentioned before. Can Zexro clutch up and do this by himself now? It's going to be the question.
All right. And Blue Team's still up in this game, so they actually came back after Zexro almost wiped them. A reboot was definitely in the books for that squad. Vector will try to fire on with a bunch, but an RPG will actually put his position in danger. And yes, full spray from all sides of the lobby, and they know that this is a potential Elam right now, and Zexor has to build out a wood. 11 builds left, and now he finds a gap. Well done from him, but how long is this going to last? This is not his build, the brick on either side. And he has to find an impact now too, because even with the glider gun, yes, he can get ahead of zone, but with no materials, he won't be able to sit tight at any point in the game.
100 mats left for Zexro here, and the competition is only getting thicker and thicker. It's more players are beginning to stack on top of one another. Zone 6 going to reveal itself. It's pulling far east here. I see Okote catch a knock in the feed there. Valor's going to fall from Cero and the others. Zexor now really desperate here, trying to figure out what to do in this position. Gonzo's going to find himself an Elam. I think we got to keep an eye on Gonzo's squad here. They had a lot of Elams before. Yes, 7 already. Only into zone 6 with 43 players alive. They're looking to come back after the disappointing drop early in the last endgame, but consistency is what matters. And right now, they are on track here, Elam-wise, closing out the gap for the bad performance before. Probably not exactly what they were looking for, but height is his. It's theirs, but the shockwaves could still be in play. The shockwave launcher, so no one's safe. Not just yet.
Definitely not. We still have the glider gun from Zexor, which will get back into play if he gets taken out, or if he decides to find himself an impact. To say that just like it's a choice for him. Yeah, I'm going to find an impact regardless. Jared's Gonzo and Okote have the opportunity to catch right back up after a disappointing game 1 performance for a team that we expect to be at the top when all is said and done. But they are on the top right now, and they can pressure down connections from all sides. This will be very, very nice. And I think I did hear that shockwave launcher down below from one team. Still not taking height, though. Does find the rocket in the gap. That's some damage done. And also pressuring any team who decides that they might want to face off against the team on heights. All the way down they go. That's 2 sides completely controlled from the team up above.
He's done a good job putting the rocket in between the builds there, really force those players down, force the congestion, and players to change layers. If you're on second height now, you're going to be the big focus here from Gonzo. These guys are not connected over, but lucky. Oh, there it is, 100 fall damage. Someone actually took some serious fall damage, and there it was. It was Luna who falls there, and Marksman as well. So 2 players from that squad there is going to get knocked. Only one is somehow going to survive the fall, possibly land into the water. Gonzo really tearing it up there. The Elams are going to finally convert. And now the points are racking up. Not only placement, because they're in top 10 here, but the Elams. The Elams are so much more important now in these final moments. The angling, though, looking out for lines of sights to cut players off is what they're doing. This is looking really good for them, Bala.
Yes, it is. All the way up now. They've also gotten themselves way ahead of zone so they can look back. Some tags down on his way, Swow, and he gets them all the way. That will be a finish for sure, and the team's still stuck in zone now all together. Gonzo might find himself a couple more opportunities, but their Elams are rising up. Only 20 fall damage, and he's got 8 chug splashes, but there it is. All the way up. Somebody is contesting, so they have to give it up now and end up fighting from a different angle and from a different position. If they focus too hard on height, they might end up falling out of contention for this game. They're going to try to launch for it. It's Taken, Aqua, and Tiny Jelly who have it. They've got RPGs too. Here's a landing. Gonzo directly on top of them. They're going for it unawares. They've taken it right back, but no materials to hold. And this is so dangerous, but they find themselves another. Yes! Gonzo is by himself, but he's found so many. He just has to survive this box. Drops him down again. Chug Splash is in zone. So key for him, but he's holding on. Still hanging on. Possibly one more. Let's go. The shot just barely misses, and Claw will take him out. Now top 4.
11 eliminations for Gonzo, really going crazy in those final moments. Here's Claw, though. 2 more ticks and he'll be taken out. No, he is going to get to the safe zone now, and all of a sudden his squad is just barely holding on. They're going to get pounced on. The 78 shotgun shot from the trade there. Now it's up to Tiny Jelly. No more mats in the water here, and there's a player in front of him. Someone's outside. Can he hit this shot when it matters? He's going to get traded out, and down he goes, but Taken follows up just in time to close out for the Victory Royale.
And that was the team who ended up getting the shockwave.